Hey folks, got to get going on one. Got a holster to repair. This is for a Mauser HSC. As you can tell, I've already done it. But stick around, watch the video. I'll show you what I had to do. I had to get creative for some of it. And we'll show you what I did. I see this belt is the strap here is missing a couple stitches too. I don't know if I want to go through all that. If I do that, I might as well restitch everything. I don't know. But I'm just going to use, the nice part is a lot of the stitching is, it's got a slight tint to it maybe. And I don't know if I can duplicate that or not. I can try. I might have some thread that's pretty close to it. But I need to open this up. I got the rivet off already. They're always a challenge. Make sure you get a good sharp blade here. Some people say don't have a sharp blade. Some, I am a fan of a sharp blade. And maybe this one I need to pop off here. Yeah, I don't usually say nothing to my neighbors about, loud music and stuff because it doesn't really bother me that much. I've got one that is just been doing it every afternoon, and it's always when I'm out in the shop. So, let's see if that one's a little sharper now. Yeah, see, some of this is just... Well, that saves some work. I guess this is a good time to repair it, huh? There's a little piece down in the bottom here that just kind of widens it up a little bit. That stitching in the bottom of that belt loop is atrocious. But I'm not messing with it. So I'm going to see if I can... It's not going to work for me, is it? I'm not going to be able to pull those through. I'm going to have to grab my sharp awl because I need these stitches are pretty tight. But I need to be able to get under that thread. These were all done in a lock stitch, and you can do a lock stitch by hand. These are done by machine. Maybe one day I'll have to do a stitching video, and it could be pretty long because there's a lot of different ways to stitch stuff. So that didn't take too long, thank God. I'll have to get me another jug of Connolly's here. I'm pretty quick. Rub that in good. We're just kind of, all this does is kind of nourish the leather a little bit and kind of clean some of the dirt off. Anytime I'm going in, especially under a new piece or pieces that I'm replacing, I want to clean those really well. If for no other reason, then they're done, because it's not a place that gets cleaned very often. And a lot of times what causes the thread to break on these is not only age, but abrasion. You'll get dirt in the seams, especially something that has seen combat. Will get dirt in the seams, and that causes abrasion of your thread. I didn't pull on these when I pulled on the strap, I pulled on it a little bit and then the thread broke right off. So I don't know. The lid seems to be on there pretty good. I'm not going to get too carried away with it because really I don't want to replace I don't want to restitch anything I don't have to. Alright. Grab me a rag, start buffing. It looks nice when it's done. Not gonna make you watch this. As I'm sitting here just sewing away, getting the magazine pouch on this holster, thought I would ask what you guys want to see. What kind of stuff do you want to see? I started this channel, I was making my leathercraft, basically was holsters, because that's what I started making. And I started making holsters because I was carrying a Bulgarian Makarov for my daily carry gun, and there aren't a lot of holsters made for them, and I wanted something I could conceal better than the military holsters. It would have been similar to this, would have been a military holster for that. So I wanted something that I could conceal a little bit better. So that's how I got started. And then I wanted a checkbook cover, so I made a checkbook cover. Still have it, I still use it today. That was almost 15 years ago. If not 15 years ago. And then I made a couple other minimalist wallets. And then I wound up making this wallet after I found that pattern. Leatherworker.net is a really fantastic resource. There are people there that are happy to answer questions for you, because it's not a competition thing. It's a sharing of information, and I really like that resource. I don't get on there nearly as much as I want, and I don't contribute nearly as much as I should. But I also know that I'm not at the caliber some of these people are. Some of these guys are really, really good. My tooling abilities aren't great. I sneak by when I need to tool. I don't really do a lot of tooling anyway. I am going to be doing a Western style holster for my Pieta 45 Colt. If you'd like to see that, drop a comment below if you want to see that one, because it'll be a Western style holster. And I haven't... Last winter was supposed to be my winter to make my double holster rig for my Ruger Blackhawks in 41 Magnum. And I was going to do a sleeve for my Henry. I have a Henry Big Boy, also in 41 Magnum. So I wanted to do both of those, and I never did. Never got to it. I was busy with holster work. Between that, and I was still trying to work as much as I could. So this is kind of neat here. A lot of times when I have something like this, there's not a hole here that actually kind of point better. There's never a hole right here in the corner. So there's a hole in the corner there in this holster, which is great. That's the way I would do it. Why some of these other ones aren't that way, I don't know. But they're not. I better get at least one of these pins out. These pins, I'll try try to leave a link to them below. These are just fantastic for holding stuff together while you're working. Slaving away like we do. So this is my opportunity to tie this off inside. The linen thread, remember, isn't like a nylon thread or polyester thread. I can't just melt the ends. There is that. I just take this here tool, tuck that knot away as best I can. And there we got the bag pouch on. I'm not going to make you watch anymore. I'm just going to sew the perimeter now. This holster is about done. There we go. So that'll hold that piece in there nice. I can just stitch her all up. I do have to go and find a rivet. I could not find any through my regular suppliers except for brass. And this is steel. So I'll have to look for that. But I'm not going to bore you with sewing this up. We'll talk to you later. I forgot that I had to reattach this. I'm still looking for rivets. Can't find any. But that is what it is. If you have stitching in there to look at, you don't have to worry about looking at the holes and what is left on the leather. I take a picture. So I know exactly how everything twists and turns and everything. So we know we got a crossover at the very bottom. There's no knot visible when I took it apart. The knot was right there, and you can see that the indentation in the leather there. That's where the knot was. So the story is there to be told with the leather and the holster. So I'm going to start on this side because my knot's over there. Alright, so normally I'll take this thread to go into the next hole, and this thread will go in on the outside hole. Can't see that, can ya? So normally I'll take, kind of got one inside and one outside. I'll take the outside and go to the inside, and the inside to the outside. But I'm going to look at my picture. Come on. And it looks like that's what they did. You keep straight which one is which when you make that twist. I'll finish this off and you tell me if I got it close to my picture. So now that knot was, I gotta look again. just hammer this down. And there we go, all stitched on. Now, it's hard to tell about my crossovers back there. Unfortunately, it's just not showing up. But I was able to follow my picture. If you're ever, because that's part of staying authentic to these. Let's see if I could get them both in there. Part of staying authentic is keeping that twist looking right. And once I looked at it a little harder, it's just a normal twist like every other time I've done them. So, not a big deal. The only part that threw me for a little bit of a loop was that knot was between two holes instead of at one hole, which is it's different. But when they do that, it's just one comes through from the backside from one hole and one comes through from another hole. And that's all it is. All right, I'm trying to finish up this holster. All I've got left is this rivet. Now, steel rivets are hard to find. I can find brass, I can find copper, I can even find titanium rivets. However you would do that, I don't know. But I needed steel. And the piece that I have just isn't big enough to go back through and reuse. It's just not, because I had to grind the head off, or grind the part off that was holding the washer on. Now, the washer's fine. I just had to grind that off. So you got to get resourceful sometimes. I went down to the hardware store. I did a little looking online to see what the dimensions were of a 6-penny nail, 6-penny box nail or 6-penny common nail. And found out that it was almost exactly the size of the shank on this little rivet. And the head is also, it's a little bit bigger, but by the time I dome it, it's going to be fine. So there's the head. And I can't hold the rivet so you can get a look at the shank, but it's just a common nail. In fact, I think it says a 6-penny box nail. 6D 2-inch box nail. Somewhere along the line it changed to a D. Penny is originally what they were measured by, is that's how much a pound of them would cost. So a 1-pound box of this would cost you 6 pennies. And a 4-penny nail, same thing. 4 pennies for a pound. So that's kind of how they came to be noted by penny. So I've got one in here and I've clipped it off. It's a perfect fit. I just need to set it now. So the washer, normally the washer has, it kind of fits snug. This one does not. And I know I always say, don't hit your tools with a hammer. This is kind of one of those tools where you almost have to. I can try to set the washer. Like so. And then I just got to clip it down close. This lineman's pliers, these are ideal, I believe. Do not use on live circuits. Well, that's kind of a duh statement. I've used them on live circuits. I've had these for an awful, awful long time. And they're my favorite ones. I've got some Kleins, but I like these ideals. But clipping that off usually is leaves just the right amount sticking out. So these tools are from Buckle Guy. So I can dome the end of the rivet that I'm on, and then it's got another tool that a lot of kits don't come with, and that's to dome the head. which this had a domed head on it too. And these are for a size 14 rivet. Now this end of this hammer, this is called a cross peen hammer. And that end is just for peening stuff like rivets. Hammer that down. You don't want to leave anything that'll catch. And there we go. A beautifully set rivet. It is steel, exactly what was originally in it. And I can dome the back here with the doming tool. We just domed it a little bit there. And that was the last thing that this holster needed. There you go, folks. Another one for the Mauser HSC pistol. It's all done. I'm going to give it another run over with some Connollys. Just kind of prettify things a little bit more. The rivet gave me all sorts of trouble. We'll just put it that way. It was tough. Finding a rivet, a steel rivet no less, is very difficult, I guess. I have brass rivets from a 14, size 14 to a size 9, 14 being the smallest that I could get. This is about the size of what a 15 would be, and I can find those in brass, but I don't need a rivet that small. This one happened to be steel, just like the post there. Hard to find. So like I said, I think I said in the video, get a little resourceful. I went and looked up some dimensions of steel nails and found that a 6-penny nail had just about the same shank diameter as the rivet that I have. So that's what I went and got, and it worked out real well. I was able to reuse the washer, so that's always a plus. Other than that, I'm going to give it another coat of Connollys just to clean her all up real good. Get some pictures and send her out the door to my customer. And that's it. Pretty simple. It wasn't a big, difficult repair, but I did have to open the side. Just all I had to do was repair the magazine pouch, remember? But to do that, there's so little room. There's just, I mean, this is for a small gun. So there just was not enough room to be in there with pliers and stuff and trying to work needles in and out, and that's a lot of stitches. There just wasn't enough room to do it. So opening up the side gave me that room that I needed. I just had to figure out a rivet, which I did. So there we go. That is another holster in the books. If you want to see more of this kind of content, leave me a comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything. And I'll get with you in the next video. I got another beginner video, I believe, coming up next. So, there you go. Stay safe. God bless. We'll catch you next time.